Hello, my name is Yvonne Johnston. I'm a consciousness coach and a leadership development expert. As a coach, our job is to help you change your thinking so that you can change your life. And it really is a wonderful thing to be able to do. Following on from the people-pleasing episodes that I did, I thought that it would be useful to talk about boundaries, because this seems to be quite a difficult topic for many people. So what is a boundary? How do you know when you need one? So in truth, a boundary is just guidelines or rules that keep you in a reasonable and safe space, that make you feel comfortable. This is a very personal topic, boundaries, because everybody's boundaries are completely different. When do you need them? You need them any time at all that you feel uncomfortable. And don't allow yourself to be caught up in what other people deem is necessary. What makes you comfortable or uncomfortable is entirely personal. So in a way, it's a bit like putting up your own personal no trespassing sign, like just don't go there. You find that people who have no boundaries are often feel like they're being pushed into a corner, and very often they're codependent. So where do you need them? You need them everywhere. You need them at home, you need them in your relationships, you need them with your kids. Your kids need to know that they need to knock on the door before they come in. Those are the kind of boundaries that we're talking about. At work, the kind of boundaries that we would talk about is to please don't speak to me and interrupt me. And it's those kind of boundaries which people constantly cross that make you feel uncomfortable. What lies underneath this? Well, inevitably, it's a fear of rejection. So many of our behaviours are driven by the fear of rejection or the fear of abandonment. Almost all of us have those feelings at one time or another. And so I will, in time, unpack those as well. So how do you set boundaries? Well, I think that the first thing is it's almost kind of in your energy to not cross that invisible line. So I always say to people that you're like the gatekeeper. And if you have a gate here in front of you, which has a big fat padlock on it, you're the gatekeeper. But if you open the gate, people are bound to walk in. That's what people do. But I want you to take your power back and to realize that you are the gatekeeper. You hold the key to the lock. You can tell people when they're overstepping your boundary, when you feel uncomfortable. And let's just talk about how you would do that. So I'm going to give you a recent example in my life. I am doing some leadership development with a company, and one of the relatively new members to the senior executive team, but she's a good few decades younger than me, sent me a WhatsApp, and she called me Hun. Hello, Hun. Can we change a time? And I looked at this WhatsApp and I thought, I feel uncomfortable with this language, actually. And so there and then, I decided to stop it. So I wrote back to her and I said, in future, please don't refer to me as Hun. I find it disrespectful. And of course, then we move our relationship into a very respectful place because she acknowledged it, she apologized, and we moved on. So the first time someone is rude to you, that's their stuff. But the second time, it's yours because you've allowed it. You've allowed somebody to walk through your gate. You've allowed somebody to walk into a space that you are not comfortable with. And of course, this takes courage. This takes courage to get into a space where yes equals yes and no equals no, very firmly. So I want you to start practicing that and moving it into your energy so that people, it brings a level of respect. You know, when you put boundaries in place, it absolutely creates respect. When there are no boundaries, you can feel abused. So the counteraction to this is self-love. Putting yourself first, making sure that you are okay and that you have a strong sense of identity. So the questions for you to consider this week are, what's best for me? What makes me uncomfortable? How can I deal with this? And who do I need to be that people respect the boundaries that I put in place? I hope that gives you good food for thought.